Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. And this is Robison, John from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Robison, John. He was Professor of Natural Philosophy in the University of Edinburgh and Secretary of the Royal Society in that city. He was born at Boghall in Scotland in 1739 and died in 1805. He was the author of a treatise on mechanical philosophy which possessed some merit, but he is better known in Masonic literature by his anti-Masonic labors. He published in 1797 at Edinburgh and London a work entitled Proofs of a Conspiracy Against All the Religions and Governments of Europe, carried on in the secret meetings of the Freemasons, Illuminati and reading societies collected from good authorities, in consequence of the anti-Jacobin sentiment of the people of Great Britain at that time. The work on its first appearance produced a great sensation. It was not, however, popular with all readers. A contemporary critic, Monthly Review 25, page 315, said of it, in a very unfavorable account, "On the present occasion we acknowledge that we have felt something like regret that a lecturer on natural philosophy, of whom his country is so justly proud, should produce any work of literature by which his high character for knowledge and for judgment is liable to be at all depreciated." The book was intended for a heavy blow against Freemasonry, the more heavy because the author himself was a Freemason, having been initiated at Liège in early life and for some time a working Freemason. The work is chiefly devoted to a history of the introduction of Freemasonry on the continent and of its corruptions, and chiefly to a violent attack on the Illuminati. But while recommending that the lodges in England should be suspended, he makes no charge of corruption against them, but admits the charities of the order and its respectability of character. There is much in the work on the history of Freemasonry on the continent that is interesting, but many of his statements are untrue and his arguments illogical. Nor was his crusade against the institution followed by any practical results. The Encyclopedia Britannica, to which Robison had contributed many valuable articles on science, says of his Proofs of a Conspiracy that it betrays a degree of credulity extremely remarkable in a person used to calm reasoning and philosophical demonstration, giving as an example his belief in the story of an anonymous German writer, that the minister Turgot was the protector of a society that met at Baron de Holbach's for the purpose of examining living children in order to discover the principle of vitality. What Robison has said of Freemasonry in the 531 pages of his book may be summed up in the following lines, page 522, near its close. While the Freemasonry of the continent was tricked up with all the frippery of stars and ribbons, or was perverted to the most profligate and impious purposes, and the lodges became seminaries of foppery, of sedition and impiety, it has retained in Britain its original form, simple and unadorned, and the lodges have remained the scenes of innocent merriment or meetings of charity and beneficence. So that, after all, his charges are not against Freemasonry and its original constitution, but against its corruption in a time of great political excitement. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.